have been a designer for 6 years, but at some point I decided to become a digital artist. I do not know what happened, but I just said, okay, I feel like I should actually take this career further. So sometime in 2022, I decided to start my journey of digital art, and I promise you that's where the real journey started. Being a self-taught artist, I can assure you that I've watched 200 plus videos, 200 plus art related videos on YouTube. I've checked every single video. I've followed a lot of artists, and it's really crazy because, like, when you're learning on your own, it is kind of hard to navigate yourself, and it can get really bad. It has gotten really bad for me most of the time, where I would actually sit and ask myself if truly I'm supposed to become an artist, and if I actually have a life I'm going to live as an artist. Up to this day, I still see myself as a learner, because every day is always an opportunity to know more stuff, and I don't think I'll ever get to a phase where I'll say I'm no longer a learner. I don't think any artist ever get to that part of their life. I think my art is kind of good. I don't know exactly what my followers or people who love my art, or generally art critics, I do not know what they think, but I think it's pretty good to an extent. I still try my best, and I feel like if I'm to rate my art, I'm going to rate it pretty low. I don't even know why, but I feel like it's good, yeah, but I'm not going to rate it high. If I'm to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know what you think. You can actually help me rate it. Alright, today I'm turning a year older, and if you have been a follower for the past how many years, you notice that it has been a culture for me to create art for myself every year. And it has actually been nice because it gives me opportunity to actually notice my progress. I can actually display for, like, since 2022 till 2025, so you guys can actually rate my progress. Actually, this year I have decided to document my creation process of this year's art, while I talk about a list of stuff I've been able to understand and learn from the whole process of being a designer, and most especially being a digital artist. So whether you are an artist or a non-artist, I would actually love it if you just listen and enjoy the whole process. So the number one thing on my list is just start. There is really no time to sit and plan so much about how to go about anything. If you really want something, I feel like you should just go for it. So if you are approaching life generally, you think of a creative idea or a creative plan, I feel like the best thing you can do for yourself is just to dive into it. There's really no time to start planning. You would learn in the process. Number two is leaving your comfort zone. This can actually mean a lot of things. I know, like, when we hear leave a comfort zone, it sounds like we should leave what we can do and go to something entirely new and just start doing it and notice that we can do it. But in this context, I feel like you should follow a due process. Let's say you try to wake up 6 a.m. every day to draw, when you know that on a normal day you would sleep till 9 o'clock. I feel like that's like how to leave your comfort zone gradually. So that's like the process of leaving your comfort zone. You do not exactly have to jump out of nowhere and decide to do something really extreme. It's like a slow process. Number three, you have time and you also do not have time. It's a very, very funny topic, but when it comes to learning, the faster you start, the more time you have. The slower you start, the more time runs out. So if you learn to balance this equation, that's where you would notice the real beauty of wanting to do something. Number four, have patience. It is important to know that you need to have patience. I was very, very impatient when I started designing. When I got into art, I always wanted to get everything fast, but at some point you notice that the more you rush into something, the more it gets really complicated because you are not supposed to be there. So I feel like having patience and trusting the process would actually help you make something good for yourself, because if you're not a designer, you have to go through the rough sketch, go through the thinking process of what the sketch will look like, go through the line work and everything. For your art to actually come out good, you need to have patience with yourself. So the next number, that's number 5, is never skip process. I feel like it is self-explanatory, because for every single phase you get to in life, there is always a lesson to learn from it. So you just have to follow due process, because if you skip a particular process, you still have to come back to that particular part you missed to learn all over again, and that's more time for you. And maybe you might be older and you might not have all the time, but you should not skip any process, whether in life or as a creative person. Number 6, I actually learned that art and life itself are not exactly very different, because art is life, life is art. If you keep life process and art process side by side, you'll notice that there are like 70% plus similarities. Number 7 is number of perfection, and I'm very, very sorry to break it to you, most especially artists, that perfection does not exist. And the only thing about perfection here is actually the journey and the strive to become perfect. That is where the real beauty of life and art lies. So I just urge every artist to be very, very aware that this illusion called perfection does not exist, and we should not exactly try, that should not be our drive. So number 8, I believe everybody should be open to big and small mistakes, because for art and life, mistakes are like the easiest way to learn. So if we avoid perfection and embrace mistakes and imperfection, I feel like it will actually make your learning process better and faster. Number 9, bad days are normal. Bad days are very, very normal. Creative block is normal. Art block is normal. It doesn't mean you have lost your battle as an artist. It's just a bad day for you. So when you are experiencing this as an artist or as a person, the best advice I have is just to take a break and rest. Find new distractions, find something fun to do. Because if you still stay locked in, you will be very, very frustrated. But then understanding, I believe most people would never understand what you're doing. And the funniest thing about this situation is that it's always people close to you. People like your friends, your family, siblings. Most of them would never understand what you're doing. But the thing here is that you should just keep going. Like, you should not care. You know why you started. You know what you're driving at. So people understanding you, understanding your craft, understanding your art, understanding your lifestyle is not really supposed to be your business. Number 11, you are not alone. Whatever you're facing as an artist, there are like thousands of people out there going through that same shit. There are thousands of artists that still find it really hard drawing fingers. There are thousands of artists that still find it really hard drawing clothes, like me. I have a very big problem with drawing clothes. Everybody has their battle. So you're not the only one facing an issue as an artist or as a person. You are never alone. Most of the time, it's better you find a community where people come out and speak about issues and how they resolved it. So it would actually give you that drive to keep going and stop beating yourself up. Number 12, confidence. So basically, I do not really have much to say about this, but I feel like confidence is very important as a person, as an artist, for you to go through life journey or your art journey. Because if you do not trust the work of your hand enough, you might not even have the courage to post it. You might not have the courage to speak about your art. You might not have the courage to be open for commissions because you do not exactly believe that you are good at what you do. So art is relative here. Like, people have art that we have looked at and be like, nah, this art looks trash. Looks like trash, but they still post it anyway. I feel like the confidence level is your confidence level is what will actually determine if people will actually vibe with your stuff or not. Number 13, stop comparing yourself with other artists, and most especially artists that are ahead of you, because I feel like this particular issue would actually kill your creativity and it might actually kill your confidence too. So you just admire, you learn, and you move. It will be hard for you to appreciate your art if you constantly compare your art with other artists. At 14, you inspire people. So I just had that understanding like recently that you do not exactly know how many people love you and how many people love your stuff. Something happened on Instagram here. A guy mentioned, made a list of artists he really loves their style and everything, and I saw my name on the list. Now there is me who do not even like my work that much, but when I saw that, I feel like, okay, yes, I've not spoken to this guy before. I do not know him from anywhere, but when I saw that, I felt like, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm actually reaching out as much as I am supposed to. I felt like what I do is actually good enough for someone to actually put me in a list of like a few lists of like I think 9 or so. I was among the lists of people he actually loved their style and everything, so that really made me happy. So the last stuff on my list, number 15, is never forget why you started. So this statement and this sentence has been the reason I've been designing for the past 6 years. It has been the reason why I started. It has been the reason why I'm here, and it will be the reason why I'll keep going. So we should not forget why we started, why we choose to become an artist, or why we choose to become a creative person, because this is very, very important, and this is what will keep us in the game for a very, very long time. Yeah, the outcome of this time lapse, and I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you in my next video.